installed a different way, game plan. So then you're just getting exposed to more. I think over the longevity of your career, that's a good thing. You lean back on, I've done it a lot of different ways. You kind of see what fits best for you, your process within the week. So I think just exposure to more, I think, benefits anybody throughout the course of their career.
Do you think he could be a starting quarterback in this league again? Do you think
Yeah, I think so. I think he's showing that. And you see it. He's getting more and more comfortable. We're all getting more and more comfortable with how we utilize him, how we utilize the personnel within his strengths. All of that just kind of, I think, shows that anytime you put him in a situation that's favorable for the things he does and the game script that's going on, I think that's a benefit to him.
What's the challenge right now for Mac in terms of the deep passing game, 20 or more yards? Doesn't seem like there's really much connection in the last few weeks.
Yeah, we feel like we've had a few opportunities that we've missed our chances on. And then, I mean, really it's every single play is its own. So sometimes we're calling it, sometimes it's not getting thrown. What is that? Coverage, pressure. As long as we're doing the right thing with the football each down, we're okay with moving the ball forward, however that fits. Now, we'd love to have the one-play drives, launching shots over the top and getting those explosive touchdowns, but as long as we're putting the ball in play, moving forward, staying efficient, staying ahead of the chains, that's just another way to play. But we feel like we have the ability to do that. We obviously have to show that and make defenses honor that as well, too.
Raiders defense, so just what sort of stands out about them and what's the challenge this week?
They do a lot. They present a lot to you. I think the beauty of them is they can basically play all their schemes from any different personnel grouping. So they're going to have something very specific to you. I think that's a little bit of the New England and Coach Graham's background. That you're going to come out in the first quarter, you're going to try to figure out how they're playing your 12 personnel, how they're playing your passing strength, how they're adjusting certain things, how they're building their fronts. Because it's probably going to be something that we've maybe seen once this year or haven't necessarily seen on tape from them, but it gets pretty specific to you, how they view your scheme, your personnel. So that's always the challenge, the chess match of trying to settle in to figure out what they're doing to you and how you're going to play. And then, I mean, they play really hard. There's a lot of pressure, probably more pressure on normal down situations than we're used to seeing throughout the course of the year. So that's always something you got to get 11 guys seeing it the same way and on the same page to have success.
One thing about Brian Thomas, if you could sort of illuminate a little bit, what is it, because a lot of really good receivers in the NFL don't get 1,000 yards in their rookie season.
Right.
Dante Adams, I think it was his 5th year before he got one.
Right.
What has he been able to do early on, especially given the quarterback situation you're facing, to be able to get where he's at?
I think a lot of it, I mean, unfortunately, with all the injuries, it's put more on him. And we kind of took our time building to it, and then we were kind of forced into it with losing, we've lost Evan, Gabe, Christian, all those guys. I think what you're seeing with him, he's really just taking all those roles on in different things. A lot of the things that we've thrown to him were things we've thrown to Christian for 3 years. And now Christian's gone. Who takes that role? Well, he's shown he's got the skill set to pretty much do anything we ask. We're making sure we don't overload him mentally, and he's proven he can handle a lot of things. I think there was that little chunk in there where he wasn't probably 100% health-wise. He came off a little injury, and we were trying to manage him a little bit. And then from then on, it's just kind of it's taken off, and he's confident in what he's asked to do. He's confident in his role in the room. He's growing into just everything we've asked every single day. So it's kind of circumstances giving him the opportunity where if everybody stays healthy, I don't know that you see the explosion statistically that you would see, because that's kind of getting filtered throughout. I mean, he caught a kind of a bang eight the other day that typically would have been a Gabe Evan type thing. He caught some choice routes that typically have been Christian and Evan. He's just kind of been able to move around and take all these spots that a lot of people have done, and using Parker and Brenton in that role as well has been beneficial to everybody. But the circumstance, the opportunity that he's been given, I think has really kind of put him in position. And then he's got the ability to do it all. That's the biggest thing. I mean, if he didn't have that, we wouldn't put that on his plate. We wouldn't ask him to do it all, but he can. So.
How impressive is that for a rookie receiver to get all those roles?
Very impressive. I mean, mentally to be able to handle it, I mean, it's the same thing. We've talked about it before. You wouldn't know it. We have our receivers are all lined up, X, Y, Z, F. He, throughout the course of the game, will align as multiple letters. Well, that takes a lot of mental toll on guys of, I was the Z on this play, Chad signaled this, now I'm the F, I'm the X on this one, I got to know where to align, what to do. And you don't want to do that if the guy can't handle it because you're paralyzing a player. He can handle it. He's shown that through the course of the year. And then on top of that, you can run routes from the slot, going across the field, down the field, quick out breakers, decision routes, all these different things that he's shown. He's been a better ball carrier than we expected coming in. So getting the ball in his hand on some screens and bubbles and things like that has been handing him the ball. That's all stuff that's been beneficial. And a lot of it you just didn't see in college. I mean, I remember asking him when he first got here, what's something you did at LSU that we haven't shown to have yet in the playbook? He kind of just said, well, I just ran switch all go, or I ran 4 verticals. Malik did everything underneath. So he just wasn't exposed to that because their personnel didn't match up with that way. So you're kind of uncovering a lot of things that you maybe didn't know just because he wasn't exposed to it. And we never thought he couldn't do it. You just didn't see it. And so I think too, during rookie camp, we kept him in rookie camp without those other guys, and we tried to put him in all these spots to see. And you thought, okay, this is cool, he can do that. But you had Christian that, it's kind of hard sometimes to go to your quarterback and say, here's something you've thrown to Christian Kirk in critical situations 100 times, we're going to have somebody else do it. Well, now Christian's not there, and BT takes that role, and there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of confidence, and I think his confidence is rising. I think everybody's confidence in him is rising.
At what point did you realize, I guess you mentioned the rookie camp, but at what point did you realize he could actually take on all of these roles, do this, handle it all mentally, all that kind of stuff?
I think you were always confident. You just didn't know if it was fair to him to walk in week 1 and say you're going to know these 4 letters and you're going to know every route and how to run them really well. And the thing that's really cool, Chad and I were just talking about this the other day, he's taking in coaching points that we've never said to him directly. But we meet as an offense a lot of times and, hey, this is the best way we want to run this crosser route. And then you see him bring it to life. Or, hey, Christian, on this big box stop, whatever it may be, inside fade stop, run it this certain way. Well, then BT goes out, we put him in that position. He does it exactly the way it was coached when really we weren't directly talking to him, but he's just observing everything in the course of the meeting, retaining it all. He's becoming a little bit more vocal through the course of meetings, but you've also removed 4 of our veteran guys from those rooms that usually were speaking up. So it's cool to see.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Good.
Hey, Coach, what makes Brock Bowers sort of stand out? What's made him so good this year, I guess?
He's a really good athlete, great body position in space, and he has a knack of without putting his body on a receiver, on a DB, when he's the receiver and getting it open, and they do a good job getting in the ball. Really talented player and all, and he's a good blocker too. Like he gets in and he'll turn the guy and they'll get some runs behind him. So yeah, he's playing really good football.
Are you surprised, or maybe surprised is not the right word, but just how rare is it to see a tight end come to the NFL have that much success during his first year?
It is and it isn't. The game, it's a lot more passing today than it's been in the past, and particularly in the last 10 years. So for them to bring him in and target him as many targets as he has, and the success that they had, you can keep throwing him the ball. So it makes a lot of sense.
You spent a lot of time with Desmond last year. I know it's still up in the air whether he or Aiden will start, but if it is Desmond, what does he really bring to the table that you guys have to account for?
We have to do a great job of keeping him in the pocket. Like, we have to keep him in, because once he gets out and he starts creating, then that's when the plays happen. We've got to make him stay in there, go through his progression in the coverage, change the coverages up on him, show him one thing and do something else. But the biggest thing, keep him in the pocket is huge. Gene? All right. All good?
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
Kind of you back off of what he said. How do you kind of game plan or scout when you have 2 different quarterbacks?
Well, it is like we're preparing for what we saw with Ritter. the other night, which was a lot of gun run game and everything. And then if he doesn't go, then we better get ready for under center and play action and things like that. And so it's not two different offenses. It's just how the quarterback operates. And that's kind of the biggest thing is, look, we know Bowers, they're going to target him with both guys. So we have to take him away. We've got to do a really good job of them. And then keeping them in the pocket with Ritter. And then in the play action game, like, you know, we've just got to do a good job of playing shell defense and manipulating our coverages when they do get under center and throw a 2-man, 3-man routes down the field. And so that's what kind of, you know, always focusing on us. We'll have some different calls if the different quarterbacks get in the game. That's where we'll manage it. And not just, you know, the guys will know, the players will know, but we'll have not two different game plans, but just some different calls that we'll make when each guy's in the game. So that's how we'll manage this game.
When you reviewed the tape from Sunday,
Yeah.
what accounted for the incredibly wide disparity between the first half and the second half, particularly with regard to Devontae Adams? How, you know, it just, you know, nothing one half and then exploding in the second half.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is. A couple of things that, you know, we were doing well in the first half. It didn't show up in the second half. Critical situation, cut a guy free that, you know, make a better call there, put a guy in a, you know, play cover 2, certain situations, you know, that's really what happened, you know, and guy's a good player. He got open a couple times and, you know, wish we could have called a couple better things and, you know, played a little bit better. But, you know, we didn't do anything differently on defense from the first half to the second half. It was the same calls. You know, we really just tried to stay course. And, again, it's always about us and how we do. And we went in at halftime and, hey, guys, let's finish this thing. And you know, it's he had a really good second half, and I hate to see that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was a phenomenal throw on the bomb up the middle. But you know, leaving him wide open on the 41-yarder that set up the game winning. That, to me, that what happened there? Is it just a total communication breakdown?
Yeah, you know, just, again, not going to get into the exact, you know, everything. But, again, we could make a better call there and not put it on the player to, you know, be in that situation and put those guys in cover 2 and pass all the mesh routes off and things like that, you know. So, and then again, you know, a couple times, you know, just, again, getting a little bit more, calling a blitz up the middle, getting some more pressure, get the ball out of Rodgers' hands so he doesn't find him in as easy, you know, a couple of those times that could have helped too, you know. So, again, everything comes back on me, and we've got to put the guys in a better situation, make those plays.
Lester got a lot of turn on Sunday.
He did.
I know you guys do the rotation, but was that a change that you guys are making, or what was that reason?
No, he's when you look at his body of work all over the season, you know, he's played pretty well. So it's not one thing that one guy's doing better than the other thing. It's you know, he was in the game and the first half the way it was, and you know, we was playing pretty good, so we just kept him out there and kept him going. You know, and that's really what it is.
And then Doug has mentioned Trey Prince as a guy that he wants to see more from these last few weeks. Just how do you think he will do in the rotation, and what would you like to see from
Sure.
young guys?
Sticky coverage, you know, with a guy he's got great speed. He plays good technique and fundamentals. It's just getting him some reps and getting him out there and just playing, getting in the flow of the game, playing football. And just really what we want to see is him just doing his job. Like, Trey, just get out there, just do your job the best of your ability, and let it all happen. So,
Do
okay.
you expect Ron Darby to play again
Yeah.
this season?
Yeah, we expect it, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Coach.